Hallo und willkommen zum hoffentlich letzten Teil von diesem Magazin, Flip-Through oder was auch immer. Nachdem mein Handy ja letztes Mal gesagt hat, dass Schluss ist, mache ich jetzt einfach da weiter, wo mein Handy aufgehört hatte. Ich war schon etwas weiter. Ich hatte eigentlich Hoffnung, dass ich es alles in einem Video runterkriege. Hat nicht funktioniert. Naja, gut. Also. So. Hier sind wir. Und zwar beim Horoskop. The Oracle sees all. Ich würde sagen, das ist so, wie heißt das? Pop-Art-Style? Ich weiß nicht, das mit den Punkten, das Cartoon. Ich bin mir gar nicht mehr sicher. Ich glaube, es war Pop-Art, aber weiß ich gar nicht. Ja, wir haben Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra und Aries. Ich selber bin Fische, also Pisces. The water sign is as fluid as the fish it represents. They are incredibly intuitive and sensitive, able to effortlessly emphasize. Society undervalues such intuition and sensitivity, but that doesn't mean that the importance of a Pisces is underrated. They are champions of emotions and should be remembered to also champion themselves. Ja, das Fische, dieses Horoskopzeug funktioniert bei mir leider gar nicht. Emotionen sind nicht meine Sache und besonders nicht Empathie für andere irgendwie. War noch nie so mein Ding. Naja. Und hier haben wir für Colosseum Travel with Style Rucksack, beziehungsweise Taschen, würde ich sagen. Eine Werbung. Und die Outfits sind spektakulär. Wir haben einmal Jason mit so einem Oversized Denim Jacket. So, jetzt, ich finde es immer sehr interessant, dass gerade wenn ich versuche, was aufzunehmen, mein Kühlschrank sich immer entscheidet, jetzt eine Runde zu kühlen. Und das machte dann noch Ewigkeiten. Naja, auf jeden Fall, so war ich. Genau, und dann haben wir hier auf der Seite haben wir Percy mit einer grünen Crossbody-Tasche und einer schönen Perlenkette in auch so einem grünen Pullover. Und im Hintergrund haben wir Nico mit einer, ja, so einer Lehrertasche. Und ich glaube, ich habe Jasons noch gar nicht. Das ist so eine Schachbrett, aber in so braun, so ein Rucksack. Und Nico hat so einen Schachbrettpulli an, aber in schwarz-weiß. Und hohe Schuhe sogar. Ich finde allgemein, hohe Schuhe sollten bei Männern auch wieder zurückkommen. Also jetzt nicht High Heels, sondern gerade so kleine Heels, finde ich eigentlich. Sah bei Männern früher eigentlich auch ganz lustig aus. Ich verstehe nicht, warum man das aufgehört hat. Naja. Finding your strength with Raina. Sometimes it seems like there is no light at the end of the tunnel, but how do we overcome that feeling? Seasoned Warrior Raina Ramirez Ariano, ich weiß nicht, wie man den Namen ausspricht, das wusste ich noch nie, discusses fear, courage and how to push through. Olympus, Raina, as a beacon of hope for many people, were there moments where you felt hopeless? Raina, yes, of course. The moment I remember most vividly was when I was a child. My father had been spiraling for quite a while, and it came to a peak when he lashed out at my sister Hilla. For so long she had been the one protecting me. In that moment I finally had to be the one to protect her. Ist es Hilla? Ist es hier? Ist es... Ich bin mir gar nicht sicher. Olympus. That must have been tough for such a young age. For you at such a young age. Raina, it was something that haunted me for quite a while, and I was lucky to have my sister as a support system. Olympus, were there other times where you relied on your sister's support? Raina, I've definitely needed her support on countless occasions. For one, I was on Cersei's island to begin with because Hilla wanted to protect me. Even after that, when we were captured by Blackbeard and his comrades, she was the one thing keeping me sane. It was then that I really learned to be tough alongside her. We both learned how to fight. Olympus, your resilience is amazing. We also know that you later became a praetor. How was that transition for you, Reina? It was jarring. I had basically gone from being the one protected to protecting others. Learning to care for others besides myself and my sister, though this may sound cheesy, expanded my heart and strengthened my resolve. I learned to have courage. I guess you could say that I started mimicking the example that Hilla set for me, even after we split ways. I think that gave me the push to help the 7 with the Athena Parthenos. Olympus, do you think your newfound courage led you to build new relationships? Reina, yes, courage actually helped me to learn to be vulnerable with others. I made one of my best friends this way. Nico, I seriously don't know where I would be without him. It was through my friendship with Nico that I learned to let my guard down a little and discovered that not all family is related to you by blood. I learned to take care of others, but I also learned that the burden doesn't always have to fall on myself. Oh, das ist süß. Ja, hier sieht man noch Reina mit Hilla, ja, wie auch immer, und mit Nico. Und hier drüben ist noch für so Buskissen, so Nackenkissen. 2 verschiedene in Roman and Greek style. Made from sustainable materials, machine washable. Cloudy neck pillows for your sweet dreams. Da sind wir in einem Bus am Strand. Schön. Oh, hier im Hintergrund, ich weiß nicht, ob man es sieht, aber das Graffiti hier ist der Stab von Hermes. Der Apothekerstab. Und da sieht man noch so ein Backstein, ist gleich ein Herz, also vermutlich steht da so J plus Backstein gleich Herz. Schön. Und hier haben wir Pandora Bracelets. Ja, das ist Selena mit einem Herzchen-Bracelet und auch silbernen Ohrring passend dazu. Und dann haben wir hier einmal Hazel mit Knochenringen, 2 Stück, goldene. Dann Percy mit einem Armband, mit so einer Welle und einem Pferdekopf. Dann Nico mit seinem Skelettring und 2 Armbänder, einmal so eine Kette einfach und dann einmal noch mit Anhängern, mit einer Skeletthand und so roten Glitzersteinchen. Und dann haben wir noch Will mit einem Armband mit einer Sonne und einem Pfeil und noch so blauen Glitzersteinchen und noch Harfe. Beziehungsweise keine Harfe. Oder? Das ist eine Lyre. So, ja. The Ultimate Prank Guide. Who doesn't love a good prank? If you ask the Stoll brothers, they'll be sure to tell you that there's always a time and a place to mess with someone. Olympus, you guys are notorious at Half-Blood. What advice would you give to aspiring pranksters? Prank number 1, spider infestation. Travis, well, I would say a good first step is not to hint to the people that you are pranking that you are about to do something to them. Connor, there was one time, Travis, one time. I couldn't help it, I was too excited, okay? Olympus, well, looks like there's a story here. What prank are you guys referring to? Connor, one time I had an awesome idea to release a bunch of jumping spiders into the Athena cabin. Isn't that hilarious? Travis, it would have been funnier if you hadn't been saying crap like, isn't it super hot today? It's really bugging me, for days before we're even going to release them. Spiders aren't even bugs. Connor, whatever. They didn't catch on, not until the day that Travis and I opened the box of bad boys and all the tiny little spiders invaded the cabins. Their screams were glorious. Travis, correction. I was the one who released the spiders because Connor was too scared to execute. Connor, they were scary. Hier sehen wir Connor und Travis, wer auch immer welcher ist. Einer ist größer, aber ich weiß nicht mehr, welcher größer ist. Ich glaube, der Ältere, aber ich weiß noch nicht mehr, welcher älter ist. Das ist schon zu lange her, ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich glaube, Connor war älter. Aber keine Ahnung, ich weiß es nicht. Olympus. What is your favorite prank you've executed so far and how did you manage to get away with it? Prank 2. Beauty is pain. Travis. One time Connor had the idea to put neon yellow hair dye into the shampoo bottles in the Aphrodite cabin. Oh boy, did he nearly die for that one. I don't even want to think about what would have happened if they had walked in. It was so funny though. Connor? The secret lies in stealth, my friends. When they were playing Capture the Flag, I struck. The only hiccup I faced was trying to figure out which bottles were for what. Who knew that there were things besides conditioner and shampoo? I sure didn't. I had to read a lot of bottles to figure out what was what. Travis? That's just because you use 3-in-1 shampoo, which is disgusting, by the way. Connor? Oh, shut up. Anyway, you want to know the best part? They didn't suspect us for a second. Hopefully, they don't see this interview. Actually, can you guys cut this one out? Olympus. Wow, that one was elaborate. Is it usually Connor who plans the pranks, or do you alternate between who gets to pick what you do? Connor? We like to take turns, switch it up a bit, you know? And if you think my plans are elaborate, you've got another thing coming. Travis pranks are on a totally different level. Prank 3. A loose screw. Connor. Travis once had the idea to loosen all the screws for every single item in the Hephaestus cabin. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely hilarious. Travis, the kicker was that obviously we couldn't loosen all the screws in one day. That's just not possible. So we went in every day and loosened about 5. But the Festus kids, they are nuts. Sit down on a chair once and they already know something is off. The first day they just fixed everything no problem and figured it was a one-time thing. Connor, but we are nothing if not consistent. We went in the next day, the day after, and so on for at least 2 weeks. They began to lose sleep because they were so stressed that their cabin was falling apart. And who are they if they can fix things? They would tap all the desk legs, push on all the bed frames, check all the floorboards, you name it. Travis, they began to believe it was self-sabotage, like someone in their dorm was messing with them. Hysterical. Ha! I literally cannot think of a better prank we've done yet. Und hier sieht man noch die Festus Cabin, wie sie alles Mögliche anschauen und verwirrt schauen. So, und hier haben wir Approval. Here's Iris. Gem Z by Hazel. Gem Z cannot be held accountable for any potential curses that our gems may bring. Okay, es ist Jewelry. Oh my demigods. Hier haben wir eine Perlenkette mit 3 Goldketten und noch einem Anhänger. Dann haben wir hier Drew, denke ich, mit Schmetterlingohrringen und mehreren Ringen, ein blauer, 2 goldene, ein blau-grünes Armband und ein goldenes Armband. Hier haben wir noch einen Ring, einen Herzchenring mit einem, ich weiß nicht, wahrscheinlich Rubin und goldener Ring. Approval, Harris Stamp of Approval. So. Real Amethyst infused with Dionysus Tears. Wunderbare Ohrringe, die brauche ich auf jeden Fall. Dann haben wir hier noch Hazel, auch mit einem rosa Ring und eine Perlenkette und blauen Ohrringen mit goldenen Sternchen. Und hier haben wir noch ein paar andere. Sommer 2022. Oder SS. Ja, SS, interessant. Sagen wir mal Sommersemester, was auch immer. So, dann haben wir hier noch ein Feature mit, ich würde sagen, Luke. Ja, Luke, das hier ist, wie heißt das Schwert nochmal? Ich weiß es gar nicht mehr, aber das silberne, bronzene, beziehungsweise es war einfach nur Iron. Ja. Und Raina. Magic, mysteries and monsters. Oh my. From fighting monsters to struggling with family issues to figuring out who they are, demigods have never led easy lives. With us today sharing their story are the patron of Camp Jupiter, Raina, and the hero of the great prophecy himself, Lucas Tillon. Olympus. A life of a demigod has plenty of trials, including staying alive. Unfortunately, monsters tend to have an inkling for the scent and taste of demigods. You've both obviously had more than your fair share of monsters. So what's the craziest encounter you faced? Luke, that's a hard one, but I think I know my answer. Way back before I came to camp, I met Thalia, and amidst our many adventures, aka a handful and a half of near-death adventures, we met this little girl who was crazy scary. Turns out her name was Annabeth, and she was like us. Meeting her was quite definitely my craziest encounter. She's actually quite terrifying, you know? Luke shudders a bit, but catches Raina rolling her eyes at him, and he straightens up. I'm joking. I promise Annabeth was not the scariest thing I've ever seen, though she does pretty come close. Okay. Anyways, my most crazy encounter was when I was with Annabeth, Grover, and Thalia on our way to camp. We got separated when these cyclops mimicked the voices of our loved ones. I don't even know how the cyclops knew who to imitate, but they caught us. The only one who wasn't captured was Annabeth. She always been one step ahead, and she got us out. And that is definitely on my quest to find the golden apple in the garden of Hesperides. I was only 17 at the time, but I had to face Ladon, the dragon that guards the tree of the golden apple day and night. He was a nightmarish opponent, with razor-sharp claws and scaly skin that was almost impenetrable. It was like fighting a wall that would cut me every time I attacked, which is in fact how I got the style on my ruggedly handsome face. Oh Gott, das ist lang. He smiles and gestures toward his cheek, which has a faded line from his brow to below his cheekbone. I may have not succeeded in retrieving the golden apple for my quest, but I did get back to camp having injured a dragon. I went home with a scar and one of Ladon's claws as a reward, which at the time was a worse fate for any 17-year-old with a problem with his pride. There's more, but I'd rather stop talking, so I'll leave it at that. Hier sehen wir einen Zyklopen mit ein paar Demigottheiten und eine brennende Person. So, mein Handy scheint noch gut auszuhalten, dann kann ich noch weiterlesen. Raina, there are so many stories I could tell, but I suppose today might be a good day for a more intimate tale. For me, it was my father. As a child, I witnessed him turn into a mania, consumed with madness. He was always paranoid that my sister and I were planning to ruin him. One day he turned into something of a poltergeist and knocked Hilla unconscious. At that moment I thought she was dead, so I vaporized him or whatever was left of him. But the ghosts that had haunted him before his death began to haunt me, telling me I would never be rid of the guilt. Hilla and I escaped later, making it to Cersei's Island, where we were safe for a while. After Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase visited our island, we were taken captive by the pirates they had released, which led me to spend a long time stuck around stinking, unhygienic pirates. They were rude and vicious, without mercy, and were monsters at heart. Those pirates did, however, somehow help my sister, and I recognize that we could fight with weapons. They came to realize how powerful Hilla was, as I had known my whole life, and that eventually landed us our freedom. Olympus. It's truly heartbreaking. You both had to go through that from such a young age, and it's incredible to see how far both of you have come. I couldn't help but notice that, Raina, you briefly mentioned Circe's Island. How was it learning from such powerful enchantress at such a young age? Raina, Circe was perhaps not the best instructor, albeit an extremely talented one. She was often more preoccupied with her business than with teaching us enchantments, but I suppose that turning men into hamsters was a very fun pastime. Circe was always more fond of women than she was of men, which was fortunate for my sister and I. Olympus, that is quite the once-in-a-lifetime experience, but how is it dealing with the aftermath? It most certainly isn't easy to go through all that. Did you ever wish you could have been born fully mortal? Raina, war comes hand in hand with being the daughter of Bellona, and I've never looked back. There is no use for it. You cannot change the truth by merely thinking and wishing for something different. But war always comes with a price. Good people are lost and bad things often happen, but they cannot come back. Those left behind can only attempt to remember the deceased in the way they hoped to be remembered. I would not change this life if I could. The life I have led has been one with cause. I cannot imagine a life not living like this. Luke, to live a mortal life has always been a dream of mine. A life with low expectations and parents that don't lose their mind from hearing about your future prophesied by an oracle. There's been a lot of times where I've wanted to be something other than what I was. Living always on the run from home and from monsters, and never knowing who to depend on is the worst. Having a mentally absent mom and a physically absent dad is something I would never wish upon someone. So in that sense, I would trade it all within a second. But I was also able to meet amazing people who made this world worth living in, people that I consider family and would protect to the ends of earth and time. As much as I envy those with healthy families and safe lives, I would never want to forget the people I love. They make all of it worth what it takes to live this life. Olympus, wow, that is truly inspiring. There's so much grief and strife that comes with the life of being a half-blood. So we at Olympus would love to know what gets you through it. How do you cope with loss? Luke, I used to cope in very unhealthy ways, which in retrospect ruined a lot of my life. Instead of trying to make do with what happened, I went after revenge. Revenge. Nothing is ever enough with that mindset. In the end, I learned that there were things that you couldn't change, no matter how hard. You just have to find the right people to support you through it, and even though things won't all be okay immediately, it will be better. Raina, for those who might have had a hard time finding a good support like I did, I found solace in pets. There is a reason that animals are companions for people with PTSD, and it is found to be very effective. Our Rum and Argentum have been there for me, especially since my sister is not able to be around. They've taken care of me and have been with me through thin and thick, which has been a great help to me. Olympus, experience truly does make for wondrous advice. Thank you both so much for coming to us and for sharing such vulnerable moments in your lives. All of us at Olympus truly appreciate it and hope that the way back home that is safe and monster-free. To live a mortal life has always been a dream of mine. A life with low expectations and parents that don't lose their mind from hearing about your father prophesied by an oracle, by your future prophesied by an oracle. Your father. Luke. Na schön. Hier haben wir Own Your Look, Argus Optics, Contact Lenses. Hier haben wir mal High Tide, das Blau ist die Kontaktlinse. Cameral Delight, was ein karamellfarbene Linse ist, vermutlich die Calypso hier anhat. Dann Midas Touch, eine grün-goldene Linse. Und Stormy Haze, nochmal eine blaue, aber eher in Richtung grau. Ich glaube komplett grau, mit einem blauen Schimmer. Und Hazel hat vermutlich Midas Touch. Obwohl hier natürlich kein grün ist. Und dann sind wir auch schon am Ende. Doch endlich mal geschafft. Hier haben wir noch die Rückseite mit Elysium Fashion Emporium. Fight with Fashion. Accessories charmed for your demigod needs. Und Protective Charms last up to 2 years. Dann haben wir Nico mit wohl ganz vielen verschiedenen Klamotten. Ich kenne es kaum. Also der großen Jacke und sein Schwert in einem Sword Sheath mit Skeletthänden. Sehr interessant. Und eine Hose mit Combat Boots. Ziemlich zerrissene Hose mit irgendwelchen Zeichen drauf, mit Kronen und Kreuzen aus Knochen. Und 600, was auch immer die Zahl bedeuten soll. Ja, das war's dann auch schon. So, wie gesagt, ich habe noch das andere Magazin, aber ich glaube, für eine Weile reicht das jetzt erstmal. Ja, mein Englisch an sich lesen ist gut, Aussprache hat Probleme und manche Wörter weiß ich halt auch überhaupt nicht, wie man die ausspricht. Und natürlich dann noch der Akzent, der deutsche Akzent, die ist ja aber typisch. Ich finde, diese Magazine sind einfach so krass gemacht und ich finde die wunderbar, also ich finde die wirklich toll. Auch wie die aussehen, wie da ganz viele verschiedene Fanartists einfach mitgemacht haben. Ich finde es wirklich, wirklich toll, solche Sachen. Ich wollte früher auch immer so Fanart zeichnen oder sowas, aber ich war einfach immer zu schlecht. Ich konnte sowas einfach nie wirklich gut zeichnen. Aber jeder kann was anderes. Man muss ja nicht alles können. Schönes weiteres Entspannen.